Facts First presents Mother of Three lived a double life for 15 years until one man killed her. Before we get into the video, please click that like button and also be sure to subscribe and click the notification bell so you don't miss our future videos. Paige Berg. Everyone who knew Paige knew her to be a successful woman. Her children adored her. She had many friends, and she was very successful in business. She lived in a small Colorado community, and everyone thought very highly of her. When the truth came out that Paige was living a double life, her family was destroyed. Hard times. When Paige and her husband Rob divorced, she knew that she had to get some extra income. She wanted her children to be able to continue living the same lifestyle they grew up with. She got the idea that she thought would be the answer to all of her problems. Before Paige met Rob, she was married to a man named Howard Rob Biegler. He was her high school sweetheart, and the two married. Things didn't work out and they got divorced, and that was when she met Rob. A picnic reunion. The two decided to connect again after Paige's divorce, and they met up for a picnic in the park. The reunion was to take place July 28, 2007, and it was a very hot day in Colorado. Paige was 34 years old at the time, and she hadn't seen her ex-husband in years. She drove 120 miles that day to meet up with him. After the two had their picnic, Paige headed home. Howard called to make sure that she got home safe, and when she didn't return home for hours, her kids began to worry. Howard called her at 9 p.m. She told him that she was almost home. It was 11 p.m. when the nanny and the kids called her, and the call went straight to voicemail. Missing persons. It was 2 days after Paige's date with Howard, and she still had not returned home. Her ex-husband Rob tried to reach her. When he couldn't, he filed a missing person report with the police. Paige's father, Frank, and her mother Suzanne got the call that their daughter was missing. They left their home in Denver to be there for Paige and her children. Her brother joined them from his home in Seattle. Paige was a wonderful mother, and her family knew that she would not willingly stay away. The Ford Focus. A few days after Paige went missing, the police found her car. Her Ford Focus had been burned, and it was sitting in an empty parking lot. The police searched the car hoping to find some evidence. Unfortunately, the fire burned everything that could have helped in the search. Finally, after getting a close look at the car, they found something. Her purse and phone were gone, but her day planner was still there. They hoped they could get some information from her planner. While going through the book, they found that someone had torn out the last few pages. They wondered what those pages contained, who took them, and why. More evidence. When the police looked over the car, they realized that the driver's seat was pushed back very far, way too far for Paige to be able to reach the pedals. That meant someone else was driving her car. When they realized that foul play was likely involved, a search party went through Mesa County looking for the young mother. Paige's friends and family members were more than willing to go out and help with the search. The difficult terrain and the hot temperatures didn't put them off. They worked alongside the police and the search dogs to try and find her. The police also brought in divers to check the Gunnison River. After the search, there was still no sign of Paige. And then, finally, they got a clue. There were over 100 people searching. Somebody found her video store card, her children's medication cards, and her checkbook. When they found her phone, they found a call from a mystery number the night she disappeared. A double life. When the police called the mystery number, they found out that Paige was living a secret double life. The number that called Paige was a man named Jim, who claimed not to know the woman. This was because Jim didn't know her as Paige. He knew her as Carrie. The phone showed the two had often spoken. The phone Jim used was a burner phone. He bought it July 26th at Walmart, and Paige was the only person that he ever called on that phone. Soon the police figured out who the man was. His real name was Lester Jones. His office was close to the lot where Paige's car was discovered. He was their prime suspect in her disappearance. Lester was not a good guy. He had already been in prison for attempted kidnapping and sexual assault. With a record like that, the police were sure that they had the right guy. Searching Lester's office. The police searched Lester's office for clues. They found strange lists of women's specifications such as their bra sizes, their looks, and information about their character. They also found Viagra, condoms, toupees, and a gas container in the office. It was then they learned the truth about Paige's double life. At first, Lester denied everything. When the police showed him the evidence they had against him, they knew what the connection between Lester and Paige really was. In her secret life, Paige was running Models, Inc., a prostitution service. She used the name Carrie to protect her real identity. When the police found Carrie's online profile, they couldn't believe it. They were sure that she didn't like what she was doing, but she had to due to her financial problems. Finding Paige's body. Paige had been missing for 5 years when a group of hikers found her bones in Wells Gulch. She had duct tape over her mouth, and it looked like she had put up a fight against her attacker. The police knew Lester was their man, and he finally went on trial for murder. The first trial ended in a mistrial because the jury couldn't agree. During the second trial, he was found guilty and was sentenced to life without parole. The aftermath. Seeing the man who killed Paige sent to prison made Paige's family happier, but her father still felt uneasy about his daughter's death. Paige's children went to live with their father in Pennsylvania, and her children will always mourn the loss of their mother. This mother of 3 hid her double life for 15 years. Her secret was safe until she was murdered. A very tragic story. Subscribe for more.